Good morning, everyone. It's Brenda Quintana here. It's been an exciting morning already in our house. The master bath renovation is continuing on, and there are some things to get straightened out. So I'm a little late this morning because I was wrapped up in that, and now I have a wonderful project for you. So this is the cutest little star punch box. It's using the Sweetest star bundle, and you need that for the front piece and the back piece. And then I'll show you how to make the sides of the box today. And you can make it just as a box. It works really nicely as a little star box. It's super cute. Or you can add a little hanger and turn it into a Christmas ornament. So that makes it even more special, right? And my suggested chocolate for inside of here is a Ghirardelli, not Ghirardelli. We did Ghirardelli last week. A Ferrero Rocher truffle, and if I hold it up like here, it's gonna fall out. Or a Linder truffle would also work really well inside of here because you can just squish the sides of the wrapping down. But look how cute that is, a Ferrero Rocher truffle. So you can make lots of these and give them out as little gifts. Sell them at craft fairs. They're just super, super adorable. And I love how you actually have that star shape all the way around the box. Super, super cute. Now you could do other things with this. This is using the whole bundle, but you could make stars for other occasions as well. If you're an American, the 4th of July, this would make a very cute star box for the 4th of July. You just have to, of course, change it up, red, white, and blue, right? And do something a little different with it. But you could also do that for this box. The nice thing about this box compared to other star punches, and I like star punches that have really pointy peaks, but this one will actually allow you to hold something inside of it because the indents are shallower. So that's one of the advantages of having a shallow indent star, is that it allows for more room for putting something inside of it. So this is definitely a punch you should think about getting. If you want to make the Christmas, the Santa, I've got Mrs. Claus here. I don't know if I took a picture of her for the blog. I don't know if she made it on. I just took a whole bunch of pictures this morning. And then also you can do the little gingerbread man as well, gingerbread star man. And you could do this one I did in pecan pie. You can also do it in early espresso. And I wanted to show you one thing because I know I'm going to forget this. So you might have seen my little ornament, my gingerbread house ornament. Now, I didn't check this morning, but the house bundle, this little house bundle, was on low inventory yesterday. So if you're still thinking you want to get it, don't delay on getting that one either. But I just wanted to show you size-wise. The Star Punch is a little bit bigger than the house, but it's also really cute. So, if you want to make both of them, get both punch bundles so you have both of those on hand. So I will show you how to make that from start to finish, and then I will have a project sheet for you on Saturday. It's partially done. I still have to work out the diagram and everything. So it's that's why I send them out a day afterwards so that I can revise it and add the links at the bottom and everything and send them out to you. So this will be your project sheet. It has a picture, a supply list, written instructions, and on the second page it will have a diagram of all the pieces so that you know what your pieces should look like. It's a little handy guide. So that is for my email list subscribers. If you're not already on my email list, look down below in the description of the video. There is a link to join my email list. And once you're on my email list, you will get those project sheets regularly. I send them out every week. And if you're looking for past project sheets on my Saturday email, I always have the last banner at the bottom of my email is a link to past project sheets if you've forgotten where the link is. And also when you sign up, the welcome email also has that link in it. So just so you know that we're coming up on the 5-year anniversary of me doing project sheets. It's been 5 years. At the end of October, I started doing them 5 years ago in 2019. And so there are a lot of project sheets out there, and some of them require specific punches and dies, and others don't. I do a variety of different 3D paper crafted projects. Sometimes I also do fancy folds. So there is a lot of tutorials there. And not that I recommend you download everything, because you might not need everything, but if you're looking on my blog, if you're looking for a past box, if it's from end of October in 2019 onwards, I probably have a project sheet for that. So you can check out that past page. Also, for today's project, you'll notice in the description of the video, there is a supply list. So as I'm talking down afterwards, you can click on everything. And I have even more information for you over on my blog, and that is usually the first link in my description. All right, I also want to let you know, if you are planning on purchasing anything, if you're in the US, I do have a host code for you. And if you use this host code and spend $50 with me this month, you will be receiving the Regal Foiled Dot sent to you in November. And I want to let everyone know who spent, any order receives a thank you card from me, but if you ordered over $50 worth of product last month, those were sent out on Wednesday. So you should be receiving your embellishment really soon. It should be coming. Some of you may, if you live close enough to me, you may have already received it. So those are coming in the mail very soon. So I send those out once a month. And what else can I tell you? We still have our kit sale going on. Let me bring that up. Here it is. So our kits are up to 30% off. These make really great gifts for crafty people. So think about them as Christmas gifts. It's a nice time to get them before the holidays, and you can save some money if you get them right now. And last but not least, if you are going to be spending if you're going to be spending anywhere close to $100, then really think about getting the starter kit, because it is the best deal in the catalog. If you're already going to spend $100, then why not just spend $99 on the starter kit, and then you get $155 worth of product. It's your choice. No one's going to tell you what you need to order. So you can spend up to $155, spend only $99, plus you get free shipping on your starter kit. If you are at all curious, I'm just going to pop up my link to my blog here. cubiesquest.com/join. And if you look at that page, it will give you some answers to your questions. And if you have more, then just email me. I am happy to answer questions. I'm a very curious person. I love to have my questions answered. This is my email address for those of you who need questions answered. BrendaQStamps@gmail.com. All right, I'm gonna pop all of these away. Oh, and we already have 2 new team members for our Bee Stampers team this month, so I'm very happy about that. I'm getting them hooked up to our all of our team stuff. So I'd love for you to join if you want to. Okay, it's time to get stamping, right? I see so many people here this morning. I see some team members, I see some followers and some customers, and I'm grateful, and thank you to all of you for being here, because it makes my video a lot better when I know someone's watching me. It makes me feel like I'm creating something that other people might use. All right, let's pop over to my messy desk. Oh, let me zoom in a bit. It's a little messy. Let me pop this over here. Okay, so on the back sides, I just like embossed in white, may your days be merry and bright. That's one of the nice things about this bundle here is these greetings, these two will fit on the back. And this one kind of is laid out so it fits nicely with a bit of an edge, cardstock edge around it. So it fits very nicely into the star punch. And then, of course, the fronts, we've got the little gingerbread man, we've got Mrs. Claus, we've got Santa. And if you wanted to see a comparison again between the sizes of the two, you can kind of see how they match up. You know, they're cute. If you wanted to do a gingerbread theme, you know, you could do the house with a bunch of the star-shaped cookies. How fun. Okay, let's pop these aside for a moment, and I'm going to show you how we go about making them. So you can, if you're going to do a stamped and colored front, then I recommend going ahead and punching out a star for the front, and then you're going to add this white star on top of it. If you're going to be embossing on the back, you can choose whether you punch an extra shape and then go ahead and glue another star on top of here. If you want to save a step for the back piece and you are going to be embossing right away and not stamping, just as an aside, if you did not want to emboss, you can take another white star and put it on the back. You can stamp this in red. Instead of white on red, you can do red on white. So it's your choice. You don't have to do embossing. Embossing's fun, but you might not have the tools to do it yet. Or you could do a red back, and if you do black ink on the back, that would also work. A nice dark ink would work on the back of the star as well. White really pops though, doesn't it? Okay, let's do this real quick. Let's emboss this piece. I've already punched a star, and I'm going to just, with this one, I actually like to punch first and then emboss. And then I'm just going to stamp this right here on the center and then lift off. I'm going to use the tweezers from the Embossing Editions toolkit. I'm going to grab my weight embossing powder. This is the Wow Basics embossing powder. Let's just clamp this with my tweezers here. This is just a little baby spoon I had from when Nicholas was little, and I kind of kept it because it's great for doing this. I wish I would bring over my Embossing Editions toolkit brush. If you have any stray flecks of embossing powder, use your brush to brush them off before you emboss. See, here's another one. It's easier to use a brush, and I left it in the other room, and I am just determined not to have to run back there today unless it's absolutely necessary. Okay, and you don't have to be as picky as me either. It might save you some stress if you're not as picky as me. Okay, so we're just going to emboss this with our heat tool. It just takes a moment, and once your heat tool is heated up, it goes faster too if you're doing a bunch of these at the same time. And this tweezer is saving my fingers from being burnt. This little embossing buddy helps those stray flecks from adhering elsewhere on here. One thing it does do, and I don't know if you can see this, but you might see there's a little tiny bit of like powder on here. What I do afterwards, once I've finished embossing, I take this and I rub it on my pants. You can't see me doing that, but on something soft, and then it helps remove that extra powder. I don't know what's in here. It's kind of like it kind of reminds me of cornstarch or something like that. So it just helps that, like, because we have oils on our hands and stuff, and embossing powder likes to stick to things. So anything that's on here that can make embossing powder stick, that embossing buddy will help with that. Okay, so now we've got the back piece for our box, and I'm gonna punch myself another red star. This is real red cardstock, and that will be for the front of the box. Okay, let's pop this aside. And now we are going to create the sides of the box. You might notice something. I'm just gonna point this out real quick. My top of the box is a star all the way around. It's a nice little star. The bottom sides of my box are a hexagon. And because the hexagon is hidden, it doesn't matter that the inside points aren't in the star shape. It also makes this box a little bit easier to put together, because the hardest part of doing the star is just getting the points in the right position when you're gluing it to the star. So if you don't have to be as picky with this bottom pentagon, it's a little easier. So that kind of saves you a step. This also gives us a little headroom up here, because this point right here doesn't go all the way up. And that way it's really great for putting your little hanger in there. You don't have to worry about it interfering with the box. Okay, let's go ahead and do the star, the top first, okay? So we're going to grab our Simply Scored. Let's put these aside so we have some room. Side to side. Okay. So this piece right here measures 7 3/4 inches by 1.5. 7 3/4 by 1.5. You'll want to put this all the way as far as you can into that corner. And we're going to score this at the 1 1/4 inch mark. Turn this so that the short end is facing up. The short scored segment is facing up. Okay, now we have to score this piece at the 3/4 inch mark, 1 1/2, 2 1/4, 3 inches, 3 3/4, 4 1/2, 5 1/4, 6 inches, 6 3/4, and 7 1/2. Okay, that's what it looks like. This is for the lid. Why don't we, since we have our scoreboard out and we only need to score one more thing, why don't we do the sides for the hexagon, the bottom, right away too? So let me give you the measurements for that. This one is 5 7/8 by 1 1/2. So we'll put the 1 1/2 inch side up at the top. And again, we're going to score at the 1 1/4 inch mark. It looks like that. And then we're going to turn this so that that short scored segment is facing up. And then we're going to score at the 1 1/8 inch mark, the 2 1/4 inch mark, the 3 3/8 inch mark, the 4 1/2 inch mark, and the 5 5/8 inch mark. It looks like this. And I'll have that diagram for you too, so that you can see what it should look like once you're finished scoring and cutting it. All right, let's pop that away. I said we're going to do our star first. So let's do our star first, top of the box. So you probably know this drill if you've ever made a box with me. There are some similarities. The measurements change, but the measurements and the shapes change, but there is some basics to box construction. So you see that small corner square right there? That's going away. I'm going to cut it on a bit of an angle to create tabs. So you see, okay. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut little V's into all the score intersections. Since I have to do a few of them, I'm gonna do all one direction first, and then I'm gonna come all the way back with the other direction. So that way I can just hold my scissor in the same spot over and over again. And just keep going all the way down. I think this is faster, but who knows? It would depend on you. So now I'm gonna flip it over and I'm gonna go in the opposite direction. And I might have to pull those little V's out. It depends if I cut all the way through or not. So if they don't fall out naturally, you're just going to come along and just pull them. Usually they're just hanging on by a teeny tiny thread. We're just going to put that one away for now. We're going to complete the top of the box first. All right, so let's have a look at this piece. We've got the short tab and over here. We need to, there's one that didn't quite fall out. We need to fold this. Now this is a little bit different than a typical box because we're doing points, we're doing mountains and valleys. So we're gonna start on the end that does not have the tab, the opposite end where that tab is. We're gonna start on this end right here. And we're going to start by creating a mountain, and then we're just going to come through and create an accordion. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, okay? It's like this. Those are the little points of the star. And then this last one needs to match up here, but it's going to be a valley in my case. If you fold yours differently than mine, it might be a mountain, depending on how you fold them. It might end up being the pointy part instead of the valley. It doesn't really matter. What we need to do is connect this over to the other side. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab some glue. Tombo's great glue for holding 3D projects together. Okay, and then we're just going to come up and connect this over here. Overlap the end with the tab, and then to really make sure it sticks well, I'm going to fold this down, fold it over so that I can press on the tab. It doesn't look very good right now, but I just want to be able to kind of press on that tab and make sure it is staying in one spot. Okay, so you can see now that we have kind of the basic shape of a star, somewhat. We're gonna be putting it onto the star, and then it will be a perfect star. So now let's fold down all of these little tabs that are going to adhere to our star shape. Okay, so now we're gonna put glue on all of these tabs because it is really hard to do one point and then glue the others. It's just very hard. So this is, I'll tell you, this is the hardest part of the box. So I'm going to show you the way that I have found to do this the best way. So we're just going to come through and we're going to put glue on all the tabs. And I am trying to get underneath the tab that is kind of tucked in. I think it would be okay if you didn't do that, but I like my boxes done really well here. It actually is easier if you hold it up instead of trying to do it while it's on the surface. I think we have a little bit more control if you can hold it up. And I'm just kind of going underneath and getting a bit of that bottom tab. All right. We are going to start, this is the top of the box. This is just the plain star. It doesn't have anything punched on it. We're going to start, I'll just say it's the top of the star, but at this point, we really don't know. I guess it doesn't matter. At this point, it does not matter because this doesn't have anything stamped on it. So I'm just going to try and aim this piece to kind of mimic this, and it's going to come down just a little bit lower than the ends in these little indents. That is going to be a little bit away from the edge, but the point is going to pretty closely follow. It might come in a little bit on the side. So start with one point. I do kind of like to hold this up while I'm doing this. I find it's a little easier. I find it has a little control. So the thing is, you want to make sure that your point is right up at the top and it's not hanging over. And it's coming in about like that on the sides. Once you've got that one point that you like, just pinch that for a second. Then we're going to go down to here, the bottom two. If this is my top, don't do the sides yet. Come down to the bottom two and let's get those stuck down first. And then we'll go back to the sides. So then we're gonna come in here, and we're going to try and do one at a time. And again, I'm just kind of finagling this point so that that point is right on the edge, and then the indents are going in just a little bit more than the sides. And I'll tell you, this is probably, I'm trying to think, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is probably my 5th or 6th one I've made. So once you do a few, you develop a bit of a pattern with it, and you kind of can understand it. I really feel like now that I'm doing this on my 6th one, I really feel like now I kind of, if you can hold it up and do it like this rather than pushing it down on the surface, it really helps. So I'm just doing the points at this point, and now this one right here, I'm gonna have to, I haven't pressed it down, it's kind of stuck itself down a bit. I'm gonna just shift it a bit, press on the point. This is the one I haven't done yet. This is the right side of the star. And then I have this last one that I haven't pressed on yet, and just bringing that up to the point. Okay, and then just look at your points and make sure they're situated in the right spot. And if they're not, go back and fix those first. Make sure your point is not hanging over. Look at all of them. Okay, I think that looks good. Let's just take a little look. See the sides? They're just a little bit indented from the edge of the star. Okay, now what you'll want to do is go back and press on the full tab, not just the points, but go beyond and do this part right here, and just press on those tabs just to make sure that that cardstock is adhering. Okay, so that is all there is to the star. And it is not hard. It just takes a little moment just to get everything situated. So give yourself grace. If you make one and you're like, you feel like you're all thumbs, make another one. By the time you've got your 5th one done, you will find a rhythm to this, because I know a lot of you like to make more than one of these. So just get this right, do a few of them, and you will get better. By the time you do your 10th or 20th one, you're going to be an expert. Okay, now this one, this is the star, and now we're going to do the hexagon. This is the bottom. So again, we're going to follow the same pattern as before. We're going to get rid of that corner square. Let me tap on here just so you can see it, that little tiny corner square. We're going to do that away on an angle. And now we're going to cut V's into the intersections of the score lines. And we'll turn over and keep doing that all the way along. Okay, and just get rid of these little triangles. And this is what it looks like. Let's scoot these little pieces away. All right, this one is a regular fold. Just keep folding in the same direction. No accordion with this one because it's just a pentagon shape. And then we're going to put glue on that side tab. And we'll bring this together. And since this is not, it's 5 instead of 4, you can't do this, glue this seam while flat, but I can pinch this up at the top. It looks kind of weird right now, but if I pinch it now, I can press on that side seam and really make sure it's holding. Okay. And then we're going to fold these tabs down. And remember, this piece we embossed, we're going to glue onto the back of here. Doesn't really matter which, like, it is pretty symmetrical. If you have to decide what, where's my little seam? Here it is. I tend to like to put my seam at the bottom of my box, but this is something that is just in my brain and it doesn't really matter. So you don't even have to pay attention to it. But if you want to choose a seam, put the seam down. We're just going to put glue on all 5 little bottom tabs. And then we're going to kind of aim this to the center. And what I want to say about this, I think it's actually easier. I don't know, some boxes are easier when they're down, and this one I always find it's easier when I'm up a little bit. So I'm going to be about 1/8 of an inch in. Let me see if I'm lying. I like to lie sometimes. Yeah, it's about maybe not quite a full 1/8 of an inch. And try and, yeah, 1/8. Yeah, it is about 1/8. I'm just trying to keep it symmetrical. When I'm done messing around with this, I'll show you what it looks like. And it doesn't have, this one doesn't have to be perfect. If it's a little bit off, it's just going to help hold your thing into the star shape, because it's those points just help hold everything together, because it's a different shape. It has different pressure points. This actually was going to be my original box. So I was going to do 2 pentagons together that came together, which would have been fine. But I was crafting with my friend over the phone, and I showed her, I said, do you think I should try and do the star shape? And she said, yeah, why don't you try it? And so I did one, and she's like, yeah, I like the star shape. So my pentagon box that would have had the pentagon sides for both the front and the top turned into a star top on the box. And then when I was trying to do the inside or the back side for this, I grabbed one of these and it actually fit. And I was like, oh, well, that works out well. So that's how that came about, a pentagon inside a star. So there we go. It's not 100% perfect. Let's just take a look. It's about 1/8 of an inch, the points. And I think in from the sides right here, the indents, it's in about 1/16 of an inch on all 4 sides. So roughly 1/8 from the points. I think here it might be a little bit more, but just as long as you get it somewhat centered on this piece, you're good. Okay? And then that will form the back of the box. So it will look really cute as an ornament. All right, while I have this still open, you decide which side is going to be the top. I like to, for this one, I'm going to keep my little seam down here. I don't know if you can see that, my seam. That's going to be the bottom of the box. So I'm going to decide that this is the top of the box. And if you want to put a hanger on there, just grab a piercer, take your pick tool, whatever, and be very careful that you don't pierce your finger, but I'm just gonna go eyeball it, put a pierce right down the center right here, little hole, okay? And then you're gonna come in with some baker's twine. This is the Real Red and White baker's twine. Reminds me of a candy cane. And we're just gonna grab some of this. I need 10 inches. So let's measure this. 10 inches. And this hanger, if you did my gingerbread house, or if you are, this is the exact same hanger. So 10 inches, you're gonna loop them so that the ends are together, and you're just gonna loop them and tie a knot in the bottom. And I like to move the knot pretty close to the bottom, as close as I can to the bottom, somewhat like that. And then I do one more knot just for good measure, but it's a pretty small hole I pierced. I don't think it's going anywhere. Okay, so let me tap on here. That way it will show you. So that's the knot. And so that knot is going to be inside the box, and we're going to feed this loop up through the hole. So if you have one of those flossers, I think one of my followers told me about flossers, that will work. Or if you have one of these needle threaders, this one's slightly doesn't want to focus on here. It's a needle threader. You get this in the sewing department. Why do you not want to focus? There's a little wire loop on the end of here. Mine is a little bit broken, but this is the one I use for crafting. I have another one I use for sewing. And I'm just going to stick that in there with a loop in there. So the loop goes in, and then you're going to take your loop at the top of your baker's twine and try and find that loop, because mine's a little broken. It's a little harder. Okay, come on in. Okay, did I catch enough of that loop? Let's see. Maybe. Yes. Okay, I caught enough of it, so I'm going to pull that loop through. And then I'm going to grab and do another loop at the top, another knot. Just bring this all the way down. That way your hanger isn't going anywhere. It's knotted up at the bottom and it's knotted up at the top. It also kind of finishes at the top a bit. All right. Okay. And then we can stick the back on the box. Oh, I didn't pull this all the way through. That was not a great knot. Do better than me. Just make sure both ends of your thing are pulled all the way through. I will fix that afterwards. It's not critical at this point. There's still enough of a loop here, but make sure both ends of your thing are pulled all the way through. Okay, so now we just need to decorate the front. And I have done this last week. I made a bunch of these, so you know how to color them, but I'm just going to show you. I put my little Santa on a D block, and we're just going to ink Santa with Memento ink. We'll find a spot here and we'll stamp them down. And then you can color first or color second, but you will need to punch out with the Sweetest Star Punch. Just line them up. This is a really easy punch to use, even for lining up. It's really good. Doesn't shift at all. Okay, and then you're going to color. And I used last week, these are the same colors I used last week. Real Red for the Santa suit. Light Basic Black. I think I used Real Red Dark for the Santa suit. light basic black for the belt, granny apple green, I think, for the buckle, and petal pink for his face. But you can make Santa's face whatever shade of skin tone you want. You don't have to use petal pink. Okay, so I already colored one because I didn't want us to have to wait. And since I've already done this on camera, if you really want to see how to do it, go ahead and watch my Ghirardelli box video and you can see how to color this one. So we're just going to glue this to the front. Like this, and the hanger is up, so we're gluing in the right direction. And there you go. And then you can, I should have brought over more Ghirardelli truffles, but we can just steal from the other box. You just pop that right in there. Or a Lindor, that works well. Or use a bunch of Hershey's Kisses. A few of them would fit in here. I think, how many did we have in here? I think we had three or maybe 4. I think this one could hold maybe 5 or 6 Hershey's Kisses. So you can use a smaller chocolate or maybe Rolos, like a small candy, but a truffle, one of these truffles fits in here nicely. Nice presentation too, because it fills it all up. And then there you go. And then hang on the tree. And it's super, super cute. And then you can make Mrs. Claus. They're kind of a companion pair. And then this one, you know, you can make this little guy in other colors too. You don't have to do him in a traditional gingerbread color. You could also do a red gingerbread star. If you wanted these to match, you could do a red one as well. I just did one because I thought it would kind of be cute to have a gingerbread with a gingerbread. And this one was from a couple weeks ago. I think I did this one 2 weeks ago, so you can look that one up if you're interested in my little gingerbread box. And I don't know if this bundle is available right now. It was on low inventory yesterday, so you'd have to check. It's Humble Home Bundle. I'm pretty sure though, it's still early days. It should hopefully come back in stock by the end, before Christmas, but we just don't know the timing. So if you want them, pick up both bundles. So there you go. You've got 2 projects. I should have brought over my Ghirardelli project. Oh, you know what? I will run over and get it because I wanted to show you the single star box I did that I sent out to my subscribers on Sunday. I will do a little run. I will be right back. And everything was in 2 different spots, so I had to run around and find everything. Okay, so after I did the video last week, someone emailed me, one of my followers, and she said, I would really love to make this as a table favor, but I don't want to do 3. I want a smaller box. And so I worked out the measurements for her and sent them to her. And then I thought, this is too cute not to share with other people. So I sent out another project sheet for a single Ghirardelli star box. And this time, because of the size, I was able to make it out of a smaller piece of designer series paper. So I used the Take Bow designer series paper for this one because the sheet needed to be a little bit smaller than this one. I couldn't use designer series paper for this one. And this is just a reminder, if you are going to do a white star on the back of here instead, take your marker, your Stampin' Blends, and go over Merry and Bright or all the words and add a little bit of color to it so the back isn't so bland, you know, or stamp it in red. You could also stamp it in red. That would also look nice. So lots of different options if you don't want to emboss, right? So there's a, you know, cute little, we've got Chantal, different ways to do things. This one was an easier wrap. All we did was wrap around a Ghirardelli, and this one's a little bit more intricate. This one's an ornament. So I hope you like those. I hope that was kind of a fun, different use. And if you already purchased the Sweetest Star bundle, then you already have a new project to use with that bundle. So I just wanted to say welcome all of you. If you're new to my channel, I would love it if you would hit that subscribe button, and so that you get notifications when I go live, and it helps me a lot. And if you liked this video today, I'd love it if you'd give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and if you have a question, let me know. I'll try and answer it for you. And now I'm going to say hello to all of you who've joined me live. So I always do this afterwards because it's easier for me, because I get distracted. And this way, if you're an avid crafter and you know everything and you don't want to talk with my followers, then you can sign off and wait for the project sheet and enjoy crafting. I know some people. So the funny thing is, my mom, she lived for the beginning and the ends of my videos. She would skip the crafting part. She would be like, oh, I want to see Brenda's face at the beginning and I want to see it at the end. And she was not a paper crafter. And so she loved that part. And I know some of you love to chat with me and some of you don't. So this is your option, right? I put it at the beginning and the end, and then you can fast forward to the parts you don't want to listen to. So, but thank you for sticking around if you did. So, good morning, Elaine from South Carolina. And good morning, Mary from Indiana. And Deborah from Virginia Beach, welcome. And we have another Mary here. We have more than one Mary, and I love that. Good morning, Mary. Good morning, Pat. And Pat wishes everyone a safe and fun weekend. Good morning, Lois from Omaha, Nebraska. Good morning. Hello. Okay, I've got a few team members on here this morning. Mary Seibert is a team member, and so is Louise. So welcome to my team members. Good morning, Lori. She said she was just looking for an idea for a lint truffle box last week. Yeah, it's Linder lint. I'm sorry if but yes, good. So I hope this you still have time to use this project. Good morning, Verblue from Missouri. Good morning to another Mary in Utah. Good morning to Kim from Canada. Hello, fellow Canadian. Hello, Deborah from Ohio. And good morning, Marty from Pittsburgh. Hello, Corrine. Hello, Valerie. And if Corrine, if you're joining me on Facebook, most of the people that are on the live, I stream both the Facebook and to YouTube. So there's more activity on my YouTube because my YouTube channel is bigger. So you're welcome to join me in either spot. Sometimes my Facebook lives do not connect. They fail. So I always stream on YouTube. It's more reliable for some reason. Don't know why. Marty says, please don't forget to give Brenda a thumbs up. Thank you. I really appreciate that, Marty. Louise says, these boxes are so cute. Thank you. Deidre says, adorable project. Hi, Sandy. Sandy's also a team member. She's going to watch the replay. Nice to see you on here, Sandy. Kristen, another team member. Hello from Colorado. Deirdre said she saw another demo use a Swiffer duster to get extra powder off after embossing. Ah, that's a good idea. I love all these little tips that you share. Louise says she uses cornstarch to de-stick glue areas that you can't reach with an adhesive eraser. That's another good idea. Louise said, for notches, you can fold on the score line, then notch through the 2 pieces, less cuts to make. That's a great idea too. I have not done that before. I have a feeling that I might cut off too much if I do that though, but that's a really good idea. So what Louise is saying is, okay, I'm gonna slaughter some scrap cardstock. I'm going to create a mini strip. Okay, say this is your strip, and say you had to fold, you had a score line here and you folded along the score line, and you had to make those little V's. You know, normally I do my V like this and I cut this way and then this way, but Louise is saying just snip off the, oh, I'm not on camera. Here we go. She just says have it folded over. There's the fold right there. And she says just fold it and then snip it like that. And then you have your V like that, and it saves you time. Yeah, that would probably save me time. I'll have to try it. I'll let you know what I think. I'll let you know if I lose too much control and my V ends up being too big. But that's a good thought. That would save time. Thanks for that tip. Mary says, cute box, have the stamp and punch coming. Great. Well, now you have another project, right, Mary? Good morning, Ellie. Ellie's also a team member. Good morning, Ellie. Good morning, Judy. Gail says, hello, Gail. She says, I love all the small treat boxes. Great. I'm glad you find a use for them. Corrine says, cute box. And she says, thank you. Hello, Nola. She says she loves this project. You've really been showcasing this set. I know I actually wanted to do, I wanted to switch to the Christmas trees, but I was a little worried that this punch bundle would start to sell out. And I think punch bundles, they rarely airlift them. And so I was a little worried that this particular bundle might go out of stock. And so I wanted to show this project earlier. So if other people started to make this project and it did start to sell out, we would have time to bring it back. So that's why I kind of pushed this one up. Next week, I'm going to be using, what is the name of that bundle? I don't know. It's the tree bundle that was out of stock for a while too. And I want to I have 2 projects in mind for that one. So I'll be showcasing that one. But, you know, punch bundles are just great. They are great for when you're creating multiples because you don't have to stand in front of a die cutting machine and die cut things through. It's just punch, punch, punch with your hand. And it's, you know, punches are great for those small little projects. And so I definitely wanted to showcase that. So yes, I have been showcasing it a lot, but for a reason, I always have to balance what's in stock, what's not in stock. I don't want to show something generally unless it sells out in the morning and I've already committed to the project, then I will not share that project and I will wait and I will do it another time. Marty says, so cute. Margot says, good morning from California. Good morning, California, Margot. And good morning, Elaine. And she says, great teacher. Thank you. Marie says, so cute. Lynn says, way too cute. Nancy says, good morning. She came in late, but she'll watch from the beginning soon. Awesome. Marty says, I do the best projects. Thank you, Marty. Marty might be a bit biased because she is a team member. And no, I appreciate her so much. All right. Good morning. Oh, Judy was saying good morning to Lynn. Okay. Kristen says, and Brenda uses the best candies. You know what? I don't discriminate. There's a lot of good candies out there, right, that you can use for these projects. Elaine says, she's from Kansas. Welcome. I'll keep going Mary said, is the single box in the list with the bigger box? So, Mary, the single box, this little guy, I sent this one out on Sunday, and I did upload it to my project sheets page. It's called, the first word says bonus, and then it has single Ghirardelli box, something like that. So it is already on my project sheets page. So if you did not get the email, it is on the project sheets page, so you can get it. And I think I even did a diagram for this one. So but I think this one ended up being a one-pager with a diagram on the front. So yeah, there is a separate project sheet, and you should be able to get it if you didn't get it via email yet. Margot says they're lovely. Marty says she loves them. Judy says very cute little boxes / ornament. Lois says such adorable boxes. Melissa, it's your first time here. She says, what a cute project. Thank you for showing up, Melissa. I'm glad you're here. Elaine says she's making the boxes now. I love that. That's always fun. I sometimes get emails afterwards with people sharing their projects. I appreciate that. It makes me happy. Keep fine. Okay. Kay says she loves all the projects. Thank you, Kay. Judy says, it's a sweet story about my mom, and so did Marty. Yeah, my mom, I still feel her with me. So my mom passed away a year ago. Tomorrow it will be a year. So I'm thinking about her a lot right now, and so I thought about her and how she used to. The last month she wasn't able to anymore, but before that she would get on and watch. She wouldn't watch live. She's on Pacific Standard Time, or she was, and so she was like a few hours behind me. But when she would get up, she would look for my email that came out in the afternoon, and she'd say, "Oh, I saw you today." It was a very sweet memory of my mom. Let's see. Hello, Helen from Ontario. It's nice that you're here. I love Ontario. Spent some time there. All right. And hello, Mirjam. Mirjam, I'm probably slaughtering your name. You never know how to pronounce names, even though I do have German in me. Miriam. I don't know. I'm going to stop trying to pronounce it, but she's here from Germany. And Judy also says, please remember to give Brenda a thumbs up. Thank you. Sandy says, great projects. Love them. Judy says, great idea to have, to remember to do a smaller amount to trim. Okay. I don't know what that's in reference to, Judy, but probably it makes sense to someone else. So I'll just leave it there. If we need to clarify afterwards, we can. Marty says decorative trees bundle. Yes, that's the one that I'm going to be using coming up. Thank you. And someone says, Brat Cat says, definitely inspired now. Well, thank you. I'm glad you are. Mary sends me big hugs regarding my mom. Yeah, it's kind of, we'll always keep her in my memory, right? That's a good thing. And Judy says too, she'll always be in your heart. So sweet. Yes, she always will be. We were a lot alike, so she's definitely part of me too. So anyway, on that note, I did film a update to my master bath reno last night. Didn't have time to post it, but I will post that today, and then I will do another update later today. We are moving along. Things are definitely happening now. So we got some oh, I'm not going to tell you what happened yesterday, because then it will be a surprise. So if you're interested in all of that, I have a playlist called I think it's called Master Bath Reno on my YouTube channel. So you can check it out if you're at all interested in what's happening in my bathroom. And if you're not, maybe you just are interested in the before and after. Once the after is done, you can watch day 0 and day whatever it is when it's done. And then you can see the transformation of my bathroom. So I will send out the project sheet tomorrow, and I wish you all a great weekend. My schedule's the same for next week, Tuesdays and Friday videos. So I hope to see some of you then. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.